You just heard a little while ago right now that Broadway is going to be shuttered at least through Labor Day right now. That could telegraph maybe where the thinking goes with the New York metropolitan area and how soon it will get back to business, not as usual, but just anything more than the sparse crowds that are non-existent, certainly in the New York metropolitan area that extends to the 5 boroughs. That worries my next guest. Nicole Malliotakis is the New York State Assemblywoman. Her district includes places like Staten Island and beyond. And Assemblywoman, it's very good to have you. You're concerned that, you know, obviously this hits your area directly. You want to see Staten Island businesses reopen, or at least the beaches reopen. What reaction have you gotten from the governor, if any?
Well, look, I think that we need to take a balanced approach. Obviously, public health needs to be paramount, but there are industries, even here in New York City, that we can open now. I'm speaking particularly about construction. Construction, home improvement contractors, they want to get back to work, and there's no reason with most of their work taking place outdoors that they can't. As a matter of fact, affordable housing construction has continued throughout this crisis in the city of New York, yet the governor continues to prevent any building on single-family commercial properties, even something as simple as installing a pool or fencing where you have very few guys at a work site. There doesn't seem to be consistency, and we have 3 economic regions in our state opening, but that will allow manufacturing, construction, as well as some retail curbside pickup. But New York City is excluded from that, and I believe that we can begin with utilizing construction as a first step, and it's an important industry for our state. Roughly 400,000 jobs in the last couple of years. It's generated about $85 billion in economic activity just here in New York City alone. So I think that's a good place for us to start.
You know, Assemblywoman, you're not in the epicenter of the New York metropolitan area that has been impacted by an unusually high number of cases and or deaths, but you are part of it. And I think the argument has been going, at least from the medical folks who are guiding Governor Cuomo, that there's great risk opening you too soon. How do you respond to that?
Well, I agree. I think it needs to be a balanced approach, and we should be consulting with medical experts. But to give you an example, you have Mayor de Blasio, who is shutting down streets so people can have room to walk around, yet he keeps golf courses and tennis courts and even potentially the beaches closed. And I think that, you know, it's just this inconsistency that doesn't really make sense. I think we could have a balanced approach, start looking at those industries where transmission is less outdoors. Let's utilize that to get some economic activity going. As you know, there's 1.6 million people in this state that have filed for unemployment claims or receiving unemployment claims, another 400,000 or so that are in the queue waiting. People do want to get back to work, and particularly in the construction industry where you have OSHA training, you have PPE that you're wearing, you can do it social distancing. And as I said, affordable housing construction continues in the hardest hit parts of this city, and yet we can't have 2 guys installing a pool in someone's backyard. I think we just need to be reasonable here as we look to move forward. And certainly we want to take the doctor's advice, and Dr. Fauci, I think, had it right. He's talking about having a balance here.
Right. Assemblywoman, thank you very, very much. Keep us posted on how your campaign is going to be equitable about this. Again, she is looking to make sure that everyone and their interests are adhered to.